I think we're back.
Are you back?
I think we're back.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, we're alive.
We're back.
That's frustrating, but we're alive. Okay.
Keeping you on your toes.
When no internet has returned. Okay, so we're back. Do you want water?
I'm just going to 1 second. Let me just. Okay, yeah, this is
maybe refresh the cam as well. It might have frozen because we disconnected.
Yeah. I'm just gonna put on this. Okay, we are back.
We are indeed back, and
We had our internet went for a second. But let me just put up the live broadcast back 1 second. So for those of you that left, you can come back.
you have no permission to return.
Okay, here is the live broadcast. So let me just do picture in picture.
Yep.
And now does it work? Yes, it's back. Okay, perfect. We have the live cam back as well. So you can see like most of the boards are empty. Most of the games are done. So let's see which ones are left. Hey, Dreddy.
We can also take bets. Which section will have the longest game?
Oh, we can actually do a prediction. We'll do a prediction here. Let's put a prediction. Okay. Which section? I mean, I think that there's an obvious answer.
Well, there is an obvious answer, but at the same time, the other sections have more boards. So
yeah,
also
true.
They might play an end game that's completely drawn. They might play it out, whereas in the Masters,
I think most of the challengers are done. So what others? The majors?
Yeah, I guess if I had to bet, I would actually say championship, unless they have fewer boards. Actually,
I'd say masters. Okay, so we can put here challengers.
I guess majors shouldn't be an option because we don't know.
And I think most of the challengers are done. Okay, so we'll put masters or championship.
I can still put challengers. Some people are playing.
We'll keep this up. Okay, here we go. Let's see which, and then we can maybe put in how long the longest game will last. Okay, so let's go back and see. Actually,
Oh, actually, the majors is working on the chess cloud, but not on the chess. So we can actually put majors in because we can check it in theory. Yeah.
Oh, this was not a. Okay, so we actually. This is the rest.
Here's the position where we left it off earlier. Okay, so white's up a pawn, but the knight on c4 is very nice. And not easy at all for white to break through here, I would say.
Yes, the stream was tiramisu. It was actually delicious, TJ.
Yeah, this is what is fueling us, so that's why it's stacked that way.
Forgot to take it out, but maybe I will keep it in.
Yeah, okay.
Is Coffin at this event? No, Coffin is not playing. Otherwise, we would be.
It's traveling all over the world to chess tournaments, but Sligo is apparently too far.
It's too out of the way, yeah.
Bridge too far.
Yeah, he played. We do have a prediction there, so you can predict which section will have the longest game. You have a chance to win some Lucky Charms, Masters, or Championships. Hello, Emma Showtime. How are you doing?
And if it's actually in the majors or challengers, you just lose all your points for nothing. That's how we do it in here.
But you can't. Oh, right. No, I think it's definitely going to be one of these. But if it's the majors, we weren't able to see.
Well, we are now.
Yeah, but not on chess.
Yeah.
And we can't put that on the layout. You just woke up at this time. Oh my goodness, that is very early. But actually, only.
How many?
Wait, let's see what happened in. Wait, let's see what happened in Dylan's game. And Ben. So after Bishop h3, he brought his bishop back. King takes, and then he played knight to c6. He did not play knight g4.
It's not an easy move to play, I would say.
He did not play knight to g4. So now after knight c6, he decided to give up the exchange.
I'm not surprised, because if we think about it, knight g4 relies on seeing knight takes f2, rook takes f2, queen f5, and then picking the knight back up. So if you don't see that, and that's not the easiest variation in the world to see, then you can't really go for that.
So we were earlier looking at this move, knight to g4 threatening checkmate, and after h3, black has this beautiful move, knight takes, rook takes, king takes, and now we have check and we pick up the knight. And black doesn't lose any material, so he saves his exchange, but okay, I think knight g4 is not so hard to see because you are looking for checkmate, but after h3 it's hard to maybe think about this move because there's also queen here that is a problem, and I guess, but then we have queen h3 there and checkmate on h1. No, there's not checkmate on h1 because of the queen, so there is some things to calculate here, so it's not easy.
Well, then you have knight h3 and pick the rook, I think. Then you're at least. But okay.
And then this rook is also hanging then.
Yeah.
So, okay, there's still...
Okay, I mean, it's a mess.
But knight...
but also, I mean, is this the worst position in the world? Is another question we can ask ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, the white's king is very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I guess we would... I mean, if we had, let's say, if we could trade... or if we could just nudge our bishop, you know, from e7 to d7, that would be
if only
that would be nice, you know.
Bishops went horizontally, that would be great.
Yeah, that would be good, but unfortunately, can't do it. So if with the dark square bishop, I don't think actually we have much of an attack.
In Rory versus Rasvini. What happened here? Okay.
Okay.
Big things are happening in this tournament.
So we were thinking black was winning at this point.
We were looking that black can escape with the king. White didn't play very accurately, but black definitely did get out of it. Played a beautiful move here, b5. Ross found a very nice move, and after this, rook b7. He cannot take the bishop because we were looking at rook b7, and the mate cannot be stopped. So he intermediately attacked the queen. And this is the position we got to. And now after f4, okay, Ross has to make a decision where to bring this knight. So this is the new move that we hadn't seen. So it would...
Wait.
We have an option.
Which I don't understand.
Okay, so we have an option. We can't go here, they will take us. We can't go here, they'll take us. So these are our options.
Okay, hold on. So knight c4, why don't they take us?
Because the pawn will take.
But don't we? Oh no, we don't have that. Sorry,
I guess
I'm hallucinating. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, never mind.
Okay, so knight c4 was played, but let's just have a look for a second. The problem is that rook b7 is annoying to deal with.
Yeah.
So maybe we can actually play knight here, and now we stop this, and the knights are nicely defending each other. And black has a safe enough king here.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely makes sense as a defensive move. Knight c4 is very far away from...
It's an ambitious move.
Well, I guess the nice thing about it is that we're attacking the bishop and the queen.
Yeah, so it is. So it's a fort.
So it's like an immediate thing. If we can trade off one of those pieces, that would be amazing. We don't even need to win anything. It's just if we can trade off the bishop, that would be great.
We just have to be careful about rook b7. So it's the only, well, I guess good check in the board.
King g6
and now white has this nice move f5, which was played. King goes back to h7, which we were talking about, and okay, white takes the knight here, but the bishop is still hanging. So we do take the piece back.
Yeah,
but
the problem.
Oh,
that's actually very nice.
Queen g6, and after king h8, what is the winning move? Chat. Let's see. Can you find the winning move for white?
And also everybody watching in Sligo, of course.
Yes.
This is how you can. Well, everybody's just done with their game. You can, if you're looking for more calculation exercises in preparation for tomorrow.
Well done, Dreddy. Dreddy has found it. F6 exclamation mark.
Yeah.
F6 and black cannot do anything.
Loads of threats here.
Yeah. He is threatening to take on g7 with checkmate in 2 moves.
Yeah, you're also playing e7 if you're not careful as well.
Yeah, f7 is coming. You can take with the rook if you want. Mate there. There's f6. Wow, very nice. Oh, so unlucky. But actually, here, instead of taking, if he just plays king to h6, tough move. Yeah. How much time did he have here? So here he actually instantly took the bishop.
But I mean,
he instantly took the bishop.
Of course you do, yeah.
Well, you still want to calculate queen g6, but let's just
no, but that's how you got into this variation.
Yeah, but you want to look out for this. So let's just see here. What did he have? Because if he doesn't take the bishop, let's see king h8. And now the queen is attacked and the bishop is still attacked. So it's still a double attack. And they can't protect both pieces. So there is still a chance here to win the bishop. And I don't think this is a hard move to spot if you're thinking about it from this position.
No.
So you do want to...
No, I agree that it was definitely not great to miss it. But I'm saying that's probably why he went into this variation. It's kind of an understandable mistake. Playing too quickly gets you every time.
Yeah, and every time you calculate... I mean, this always happens to me too. Everyone does it, but when you're calculating a variation, you still have a chance to switch, to change the course of your line. You don't commit just because you've thought about it. So you still get a chance every move to improve on it, fix it, maybe find something better. And here, actually, black he instantly played this.
Yeah.
So he did have a chance to just move his king out of the way and double attack. So f6, it's not an easy move to see when you're thinking about the variation, but on the board...
Another thing is that you don't... This is the move where you think, because if you can just take the bishop, you're winning, right? So then...
Yeah, exactly, you're up a piece.
So you really... Either you think you're winning, but then you don't play it instantly. So, because if you take it and nothing happens to you, then you don't need much time to win this position. You're up a piece, your pawns are much better, like your position is just...
Well, the thing is, you actually don't even need to take the bishop, because it's just equal.
No, that's what I'm saying. You're just winning if this works.
Did you just say that?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
You're just going to be... But no, but that's fine. Like...
Yeah, you don't even need to take it, because if you save the mate, okay, the bishop is still attacked and the queen is attacked. So let's say the queen just goes here. f6 is still a threat. So you still can't take the bishop.
No. Probably have to bring your knight back. e5, chase the queen away, and then...
Yeah, you still can't
then
take
I still like, I
I
still don't mind black's position. You're very stable. Like, your knight is stable for the moment. Your pawns are decent. I mean, you have to be careful to not get mated, but... yeah. The bishop isn't, amazing on the square now.
Yeah, it's annoying. You would want to be on this diagonal, but you can't get in. The c3 pawn is really nice.
Yeah, it's nice for many reasons, yeah.
If you can try and trade queens, that would be great. But if white can get his rook in...
You can also play queen takes h4 and then queen g4.
Oh, yeah, it's very nice. You can take, attacking the bishop. Well, I guess f6 is still a problem, isn't it? f6, you're threatening to take...
Okay.
And after rook takes, you have here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. And you can't go g6 because that's hanging with mate.
So what can you do?
Maybe...
The bishop is also hanging. So if you take the bishop, what happens after this? Well, of course, yeah, you don't need to take it. You can just play king here.
So this is another time where it's like, we're not playing checkers. We can...
And what happens after queen f5, chat?
Yeah.
How can black protect against this mate?
Audience engagement through the roof.
Keeping you engaged, yeah?
Keeping you awake.
How can black protect against the mate?
It is late as well. Oh, wow. A bunch of challenges coming in.
Anyone?
They've all fallen asleep.
How does black?
Not understandable at all because these games are straight fire, as the kids these days would say.
Yeah.
No, this is definitely we're having some very entertaining games. I'm looking. Somebody's looking, but not finding.
Okay, so if white plays here, there's only one move. Otherwise, it's mate.
F6 was much harder than this one.
Yeah. What is the move? How can you stop it? Well,
there's only one legal move. Not the best puzzle of all time.
Oh, no, in this position.
Maybe this is like when the teacher in class or in a seminar, and they ask a question that's too easy and nobody wants to answer it because they're like, what do you mean? Why are you asking me?
Or they think that like that's obviously not the question because it's much too easy.
It's like too embarrassing to answer, or or
you're
you
not
must
happy
have
about
misunderstood something.
But this is actually okay for black because black is still a piece up.
Yeah.
And everything is protected.
And the queen's coming back probably, and yeah.
Oh!
Also, you can just take on g7.
Okay, that's a very tough position, but I mean, I guess the problem is that he didn't spend much time thinking about it.
Yeah.
But so very nice game from Rory. He missed the killer move earlier with 8-4 to put the pressure on, but then he just like rook b1. I really like that threatening mate. Rook b1 was a really nice move. But Ross also found b5, which is an excellent move. So great play. I guess time was a problem for Ross. He was much lower on time. He's famously, famously
time
traveler. Yeah.
So I wonder how that looked when you were playing against him. You're also a bit of a.
Sometimes I'm actually like one or the other.
Yeah, sometimes you play very fast.
I play very fast.
I'm like, get me out of here.
Yeah, I do play very fast, or very slow. But time was not on his
not a middle ground, Mirza.
So, okay, let's have a look at one of the games that we haven't seen. We also haven't looked at.
Maybe Irina's game. We have only briefly looked at it.
Yeah. Let's have a quick look at James Naughton for a second. He was one of the players that was actually winning against Jonathan in last year's. And he had a chance to.
He was doing very well last year. Yeah,
he was playing very well. He had a chance to beat.
That was a very unfortunate game.
Yeah,
he had this draw in the end, and then it was an end game, and he blundered it at some point. Very unfortunate one.
Yeah, and there were some cheater allegations back then.
A what?
There were some cheater allegations where
really?
Jonathan asked the arbiter to check him.
Oh, right.
Because he kept looking down at his arm because he had it in a sling.
Oh, right.
He had broken his arm, so he was being suspicious because how could he possibly get into such a bad position?
Okay, this is
another London.
A classical London, one where white builds the Christmas tree. Interesting.
Okay, so let's see. Night. Okay, yeah, we just have London. Also, Bernard Boyle is also a long-standing player of the Irish chess scene.
Okay, an all-star.
Yeah.
Wait, so is this the 93?
He's always playing.
I guess this is a theoretical thing that they're playing. Although, I mean, I wouldn't know why you play this for white if this is theory. So.
Also, a background on James Naughton. He started playing chess in JFK, taught by my dad. So
the Mirza Chess School.
I used to go after school to his school, which was an all-boys school, and he was the only player him and one other player that I always played against when I went there to practice practice my chess.
Too good for the rest of them.
I know James for a very long time. And he's also from Limerick, but he got good very quickly, and has kept improving since. So,
How old is he now?
I'm not sure exactly. He's a few years younger than me, actually.
Wait, so was this primary school or was it?
Yeah, primary.
Oh.
So we were maybe like 10.
Bunch of long-standing
12.
chess players.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, so wait, hold on.
Okay, so James is 1 year younger than my brother, so he is, I guess, 1 year older than Mark. So he's like 19, I guess.
B3, and then Queen A5 was played. Are we making a threat here, per se? Are we making a threat? Maybe we're threatening kind of this type of stuff. Anyway, Black forgot about some tactics here and played B4, which doesn't work because Black just snaps it off, and your knight is just going to be hanging in the end because the bishop is coming alive. And your king will have to move, so this is a disaster of a position. Probably just completely lost. You're blundering 2 pawns. Well, actually, I guess you don't have to take it. But then you have a discovered attack to deal with. So what happened here? Knight takes c4, and then takes back, but now your king is out in the open, and this pawn is way too powerful. Really tough position, this one. Don't like that one a single bit. Your rook's going to be stuck. Your pawn is going to be running down the board. Okay, wow. Bishop c3, very nice. Kind of greedy, going for the exchange, but I guess you can do it.
Is it greedy?
Well, I mean, I would have thought that we're just going to win with this pawn, but yeah, sure.
Well, if you can get more material.
No, sure. I mean, if you can get it. I was just thinking this, but okay. Because this rook is low tier, let's say, you know? What are you going to do? The queen and the rook, they're sort of standing in each other's way. Everything is like, nothing moves. I kind of would like the rook to be on the board. I think our bishop's better.
But maybe we can play
Bishop
a3.
coming here.
A3 and play rook a2.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Or maybe, yeah.
Okay, I mean, sure.
It makes sense to play.
It definitely makes sense. Maybe it's just the safer approach anyway. You have the rook in your pocket. Okay, well.
Yeah, very, very nice. And the king is also in trouble here. White's king.
Yeah, no, I mean, this looks dead lost, I would say, for white.
Okay, so James.
Yeah. I mean, with a near certain win, yeah.
Okay, let's have a look at the challengers. And also, we haven't looked at the championship. Let me just see here. If you want to follow the games, I will pin the links to all of them here, so you can check them out for yourself. The major link is not working.
Yeah.
But let's have a look at the championship, which is also not working, I guess. Okay.
Wait, that's weird. Wasn't it working earlier? That's odd.
Oh, the championship was not working, but the major was.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Oh, was it?
So I guess the championship was working, or maybe the major started working.
Maybe we traded.
I think we maybe got them switched. Hello, Woder Cooper. Yeah. They are good. They didn't hurt so much. My back hurt a little bit more than my abs. So, wait a second.
Yeah, I guess it was the major that was working and not the championship. Very odd. Okay.
Yeah, we got them.
Guess we mixed those up.
Oisin O'Sullivan is Thomas Sullivan. Are they related?
Never.
But there is a lot of O'Sullivans in Ireland, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're not.
They crawl out of all.
But they're definitely related in some way.
All Irish people are related. Confirmed on stream.
No, but I mean, if you have the same name,
I don't think that's how it works.
it must come from somewhere.
I'm not sure that's...
Down the line. Okay, so c5. Okay, very interesting here. Bishop e2 and d3. Like reverse calling.
Maybe you wanted to play the... What's it called? The Python.
Oh yeah.
The Python.
That's true. This is actually the Python.
Yeah, but he played e5, so it's a little bit different.
No.
I mean, you know, after.
Yeah.
Yeah, before he played e5. But I guess.
Bishop e2 is a Phoebe move. Interesting. Maybe he follows Phoebe on Twitch.
I'm not in love with the way Black played this, I'm going to be honest, because yeah, after c3, this is just going to be... Your bishop isn't happy on g7, I'll say. Like, it's actually kind of a liability. Sometimes in these kind of close positions, you can also get this in like accelerated dragons. You actually kind of desperately want to get rid of your dark square bishop. Now you sort of bought yourself that kind of position where your dark square bishop isn't going to be very good. Generally against these c3 setups, it's not going to be fantastic. Because if white ever gets like, you know, takes on e5 and then d4, it can be very uncomfortable to play with the flank-headed bishop. But we'll see how it turns out, or how it turned out. I guess it's already.
Yeah, we a few moves. Well, the game isn't over yet.
Yeah.
But now, okay, the bishop has a little bit more space.
Yeah, but I really like this for white.
Okay, some exchanging. Yeah, I guess
this is a dream position. Yeah.
We can put a pressure on the...
If we think about it from like very basic chess principles, white has complete, like we call it the perfect center in a way, when you have two pawns controlling the center like that. It is true that they don't have any support by other pawns, but yeah, the light square, the light pieces, so knights and bishops, are minor, yeah, are very, very good in this position.
Yeah.
Whereas blacks, you know, they're going to be struggling to find squares. That's sort of the advantage of controlling the center like this. You're going to have better squares for your pieces generally. But yeah, also the d file is the one thing that the dark square bishop is doing, black's dark square bishop is doing, is attacking this d pawn. But it's not really going to be attacked by other pieces. Maybe the knight can come to c6, but that's about it.
Yeah. And you can always, well, I guess you don't really want to push d5,
yeah.
but
eventually you might be able to do it, and then you might even be able to take on e5 at some point and then try to create a pass pawn or something.
Yeah. So let's see what happened. Bishop to c6. I guess he wants to put pressure on e4 as well.
Interesting.
Okay, and d5 was played. Now this bishop has a little bit more activity.
I don't love the timing of it. I would have liked at least maybe to prepare it somehow. Also, I don't love the idea of playing queen b3 before playing d5, because you're sort of restricting your own queen that way. Maybe the queen belongs on d3 instead.
Yeah, and then you can put your rooks behind.
Let's say, yeah, let's just imagine the same position that we got in the game. With the, well, okay, you wouldn't play rook b8, but let's say we imagine the queen being here instead. That would sort of be helpful, because then it's going to be much easier to swing it to the king's side as well. But okay, we can see how...
Yeah, you want to be flexible with your
okay,
especially.
Now, yeah, we just...
Oh, d5 wins a pawn.
Yeah, we weren't being...
Yeah, d5 wins a pawn.
Okay, never mind.
Oh, and now d6 is weak. Yeah, okay, nice. So
okay,
white...
it all falls apart.
Oh, black's pieces are all on the back rank here.
I can imagine here there could be some tactics at some point as well. because the queen is very short on squares. So like moving the knight somewhere and then playing bishop d6 could be interesting. But okay, we trade the bishop off. Okay, and everything is kind of being traded off now. Oh, this you can take it with. Wait, hold on.
Well, you can take the bishop first. This is what happened.
Yeah, but hold on, and now you take the. Wait a minute. Why is this? Okay, let's play a couple more moves.
Okay.
Takes.
Oh, so he
Oh,
first.
you don't take. Oh yeah, exactly. Okay, that's a good intermediate move. So that was actually a blunder. By white. Yeah, so bishop d4 was not good. Because you missed this in the intermediate move here. In the Battle of the O'Sullivans, the O factor won. Okay, interesting.
Wait, let me have a look.
Yeah, that's being a little bit happy to trade and getting punished for it. You can just keep your
I think they're maybe father and son. They could be. So Tom O'Sullivan is born in 1939.
1939. That's
and Oisin is born in 2000.
Okay, grandfather. Not, yeah.
Grandfather.
Yeah.
And
son is probably a bit. Well, who knows? You know. Okay, and now, yeah. Let's see how much time we spent here.
Have you ever analyzed the game including the time management? Yes, that's what we did against Ross and Rory's game, where Ross didn't really spend too much time on in a critical moment.
Yeah.
So he played a move instantly, which he had calculated before. But when it came to the move, he could have turned the game around. He lost in 2 moves after that. So we do look at the time and how much time you have spent.
Yeah. And here as well, he spent like 3 minutes, which I guess is, should be enough time to check for blunders, but I guess he wasn't ready for. He was considering other moves instead. You do have a lot of choice here, actually. There's kind of a moment where you're not really sure. This is also a move you could think about if it works, because you kind of like your bishop in the square. Like here, for example, could be a thing to consider. At least I would initially be drawn to that move.
Yeah, also rook c1. You want to trade.
Okay, yeah. Rook
c1 his good rook for your rook that's not doing much. And then rook c1, you don't even. I mean, you're threatening then to take it and then take on d6. If he takes back with the queen. And if he takes with the knight, then all of the pieces are in the back rank.
Yeah. I mean, definitely kind of a position where white has a lot of options. So you could have maybe spent. Unfortunately, I mean, it's also a bit unfortunate that you have so many options and you happen to pick the one that doesn't work. Give your
opponent more choice because there's more chance for them to make a mistake.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I actually don't think bishop c4 is so easy to see.
No. It's
one of the harder intermediate moves, but it still is a threat. And what do you want to look out for?
Checks, captures, and threats.
Checks, captures, and threats. So, okay, this threat maybe is a little bit hard to see because you're not really. You're thinking that automatically they'll take back.
If you don't if you don't force yourself to actually look into your opponent's resources, this is a move you can easily miss. And this, I guess, how we wound it there.
Yeah.
I wonder how much time
we had a chance to take another pawn, I guess.
I wonder how much time Black spent on that move. Bishop c4. Did you see it ahead of time or?
So here he spent after this. Okay, he spent 8 minutes.
Okay, and then on the next move?
2.
He did spend a bit of time, interestingly. Maybe it was just double checking if he had anything better. But yeah, okay. So
I guess there's some things to analyze here. Take.
Ambitious.
Wait, let's just see. So if white takes, Oh yeah, there's nothing in
Yeah,
here.
I don't think that's a thing.
But okay, I mean, there's some. I mean, actually, this is not that little
Well,
material.
if your bishop was a dark square bishop, and your pawns, and you had a pawn on f3, then we might be able to talk about it. Let's say you had a bishop on c3 instead of f3, and a pawn on f3 instead of b3. If you could shuffle around a little bit, you might have chances.
Yeah, I mean, okay, this is better, but material-wise, it's actually equal.
Actually, I think if we got that arrangement, then might even
be better,
be better
because of the dark squares here. Yeah.
But like this, it's yeah.
That's true. Hello, Kanishk. How are you? So what happened? Who does this Captain America look like? Well, we did say to give an introduction earlier. We didn't get one.
Whoa.
So what is your
Captain
introduction
America,
here?
I don't appreciate that.
Introduction. You don't? Why?
I don't know, because it's Captain America.
Well, this is
Captain
Captain Permundo.
The figurehead of anyway.
Introduction.
I'm Patrick. I'm from Germany. I got roped into commentating Irish tournaments with Diana because she's the star of Irish chess,
No.
and she happens to be my roommate. So that's me. Well, I guess that was more like talking about you, but okay. I started playing chess a couple years ago. I'm about. Well, I haven't played too many FIDE tournaments. I'm like 1800 German rating now. And yeah, I don't know. What else do you want to know? I'm a student, or I studied law, and then I worked for a bit, and then I went back to studying politics, and I used to also play poker. So that's a lot of information now. Who are you, Kanishk? Now that you know all about me.
Okay, so what happened in the game was rook. Okay, so here, after the queen was attacked, the queen moved out of the way.
Makes some sense to defend the pawn.
Okay, and now rook was attacked, so we moved the rook out of the way. And now, well, we're just
okay. That seems a non-move.
Charging in the center. Well, I mean, it makes sense because you're threatening to take the rook.
Yeah, but you're dropping d pawn.
Yeah, but it has some ideas to it.
It's dropping it with an idea. Yeah.
Okay, there are, I guess some things here maybe you can.
How? Your bishop's also hanging. No. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I was thinking if he takes with the bishop, then he can go.
Oh, right. But oh yeah.
Okay, so bishop takes. If you give away that bishop now, it's going to be very tough to come back. I mean, it's already tough to come back when you're already a piece down. But okay.
Okay, and now you're just. This is a very good bishop to be up as well. It defends on f7. It does everything you need it to do.
And if we trade, we trade off.
We could have taken this d pawn at some point, but we don't need to, I guess.
Okay, we traded a lot, and now we're going after the pawn. We're not protecting her h pawn.
We're playing very interesting chess.
Activity is more important still. Okay, I guess this is check, but still not protecting our h pawn. But we. Oh, now. Okay, white has.
I mean, we're just up a piece, so it doesn't really matter what we do. But also the rook is sort of out of place now.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Well, yeah, it will take some time to get it back. Thoroughly explain like a gentleman. Working person who earns a living during and prevent my day get too monotonous using chestnut. Great way to spend your time. We're happy to have you here.
Great, yeah. Where are you from, Kanishk? If we may ask.
Let's see. Suzanne Barry! Okay, she is another Irish woman. She plays in she came third that time in the Irish Women's Championships.
I remember her.
Or second?
I remember her game against Lara one time.
Yeah,
she was completely winning.
Wow,
that was a tough one. I mean, she had a completely winning position, and then she traded off into a drawn king and pawn game, and then lost it somehow.
Yeah, she draws a lot of her games. So c4, another c4. And let's see how this went. We have in English. Yes, again, like d4. This is very similar to McElliot's game.
Oh, wow. Okay.
F4.
Very, I guess, I don't know, visually pleasant pawn structure.
Yeah.
This is how I played when I first learned the rules. Like when I played against my grandpa, I always wanted my pawns to look like that.
Really?
Yeah, like either like a zigzag formation where they all sort of protect.
Yeah, I think everyone.
Or this way, like where you build one big
chain
house. Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah. It's always nice to have a pawn chain looking like this as well. But it's very rare they have them.
Yeah, this is like the perfect symmetry. I mean,
yeah.
You're missing one pawn, but that should be a rose and goal. This one built the house.
Pyramid.
Very difficult to get though.
Okay, so now white. Oh, okay. So I guess black offered a draw, and white decided to take it. What do we think about this? Do we like this?
We don't like this. This is the kind of thing that Kaisa punishes harshly.
Who?
The chess goddess.
Oh.
Where we take draws and winning positions. We leave that to GMs, trying to take those draws.
Yeah.
This looks brilliant for white. Our bishop is a monster.
Yeah. And white has a very nice move here. White has a very nice move. What move would you guys recommend in chat? White has a very nice move here.
I don't know. Even knowing the move, I don't know if.
Do you know the move?
I mean.
What's the move? If no one, okay, we'll give you a few seconds. Come on. What is a very strong move to play? What's the most aggressive move you can play here? If you're white, what would you play?
I'd be hesitant to play it myself. I will admit, I wouldn't.
I would play it. This would be my go-to move.
I would not like to play it because this sort of frees your.
I don't know the move. Come on, you must look F5. We just go and attack. Okay, yeah, let's say the knight goes back.
I don't know.
Maybe we can.
I don't know if I like it. I don't want to give up my dark square bishop. I don't want to allow that bishop to get active. I mean,
yeah,
okay,
maybe
if you calculate it and you see something concrete, then I would, sure. But it wouldn't be the first move I look at. Maybe it should be, but it wouldn't. If I had to play a blitz game, I wouldn't play it.
Really?
No. Huh. I think if in a blitz game, I would play knight g5 probably.
Threatening?
No, just
to take here because this queen takes g6. But the king can take stuff.
Just improving our pieces, playing maybe knight d4 next, and that kind of thing. Like because our position's so nice.
Yeah.
I kind of want to sit on it a little bit.
Or maybe I guess like your candidate moves are also rook e1.
Yeah, exactly. Rook e1, knight d4, knight g5, h3.
Yeah, knight d4 is also very nice.
Yeah, maybe I don't want to trade pieces. That's why knight g5 first.
Yeah, so I guess you don't want to trade.
Because
and now you can allow this bishop. Yeah, so I guess black's problem is this bishop.
Yeah,
so black wants to
that's
trade.
why I don't want to play f5.
But f5. Okay, let's f5.
Because the difference in bishops was what makes it strong. And now we have to take it, and now the bishop gets maybe a little bit active. It's not locked in anymore. I mean, I don't know. I don't see the immediate. I mean, okay, right. That's a nice move because now you're gonna have a monster knight. And
and you're playing against the bishop.
That's true. Yeah, actually, knight c3 is very nice because then you sort of play good knight versus not bad bishop, but at least not as good. Because this knight is like the best piece you could ever ask for.
Yeah. And you can still attack over here. This h pawn is very.
Yeah, you can also think of f6 sometimes if the bishop ever moves away.
Yeah. But okay, I guess it's hard to give away this bishop, so. But you still shouldn't take a draw with so much space. So.
We have Jason Liu in the chat. So.
Yes, hey Jason!
Strong Irish player.
Jason, how come you're not playing in Sligo?
Also too far away.
Why don't we see you there? Let's see how the Masters. Okay, a lot of results in the Masters. Sorry,
not
this is not Masters. Sorry. Challengers. Wait, let me just go to the Masters.
In fact, do we have any results in the Masters? That would be interesting to know. Oh yeah.
Okay, Oleg has
won.
already won. Let's see. So we had looked at this earlier, and it was just a very equal game.
Yeah, very theoretical. Very standard kind of position. Okay, and this knight on b4 is doing God's work because you'd really like to put your king on d3, but you can't. Then makes everything a little bit awkward. And now white's getting pushed around a little bit and the center falls apart. Very nice play by black. Very systematic.
Okay.
Yeah, now...
Yeah, black's position looks nice.
Yeah, the rooks are nicely controlling the open files. All the minor pieces are really good. Yeah. Maybe you can even bring a knight around to f4, f5, sorry, if white isn't careful.
Yeah, and now, so black has a ring. So knight g2, maybe.
Knight d4 also.
Yeah, okay, I guess he wants to go into f4.
Thing is, it's hard to make any moves here as white. What do you even do? Like,
yeah. Your rooks aren't really playing here.
Yeah, none of your pieces are particularly good.
Well, since this knight is so good, maybe you could just trade. But I guess the other knight comes in.
Well, actually, I think the other knight wants to go to the king's side probably. But it creates a weakness when you. I don't know, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, you have to keep clicking because it's Bluetooth.
Yeah, so if you take here, then white's actually going to have another weakness to defend. And you're probably going to have to play b3 at some point, but maybe even black can think about playing b3 at some point. And now the bishop is really good. Not going to be touched here, and then you can put the knight back, and then.
Is the bishop really good if white plays b3 here?
Okay. Well, I mean, the problem is probably the knight comes here, and then.
Oh yeah.
I would imagine. I don't know.
Okay, defend the pawn.
Yeah, maybe you're okay. Maybe you're okay.
I think the bishop is good, actually, but the position isn't open enough.
What about this? So, what here? I guess you can just take with the pawn, and then you're alive. But because if you take with the king here, but like this, I don't know. Maybe, but it looks very bad. I would think because your rook's always going to be tied down. This rook's coming in.
Well, king d3. Maybe you can stop everything. Oh yeah, you're right. But at e6 is also. Maybe you can play knight e4.
Maybe you get this counterplay, and then maybe you have to play like king f7 or something now to avoid this. Yeah, maybe you have to play king f7 because otherwise knight g5 is coming. So if you go here, for example, then maybe, or even here, right? Yeah, that's true. Because that actually, okay, now it's a nice square because of defense. So okay, maybe, but on first blush it looked really bad, but maybe it's okay. But I still think, I don't know, it looks very nice for white anyway, for black anyway. So let's see how the game went.
Does Diana have a favorite at this tournament? I don't have a favorite, but I am rooting for Gavin because Mr. G is a darling. Mr. D is a darling.
Maybe also for Oshin, yeah.
And of course, I'm rooting for the women as well. I always want the women to do well. But we're rooting for the darlings.
Maybe it would be nice for Lukin to have a comeback because he had a tough tournament in Gonzaga, I think. I think he had like 1 out of 5 or something. So it would be good for him to bounce back. So yeah, but okay, some trades here. Now Pressure on this pawn. Can't move because it's pinned. Oh.
Also, we are getting down to the last. Are we getting down to the last? We're getting down to the last maybe minutes.
What's the time control?
It's an hour and a half each plus 30 seconds.
So no extra.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess we are sort of.
We're going to see some.
We in? 4 hours in. 3 hours in.
3,
sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, 3 hours in. Okay, so that makes sense. So takes. Okay, now we're just a pawn up. Yeah, didn't see a way to defend it otherwise. I could have played rook c7, but I guess we're still not really dealing with this because actually, can we play rook c1 here? Because you can't. You have to do something about this tension. You can't take the rooks hanging, and if you take, then you have this. And this also doesn't look nice, but maybe you can survive. Because you do have this coming as well.
I really do not like these kinds of games. I do not want to get into anything with the bishop and knight on the board in case we have the scariest mate on the board. But I mean, in general, I'm not the biggest fan of endgames, but okay, maybe rook endgames are probably my scariest, but I really don't like knight endgames.
Knight endgames are incredible. Well, actually, many single piece endgames are very, very hard to calculate. I actually feel like rook endgames, they're like, I mean, I guess bishop endgames might be the most manageable, but even they can be incredibly difficult.
Okay, actually, they would probably be my favorite of the endgames in general.
I would say knight endgames probably most difficult. Then queen endgames, also incredible.
Yeah, but with knight endgames, you do have the addition that kind of anything can. I mean, you always have like some tricks and chances. I had a nice endgame in Sitges. That was actually slightly worse, but my knight helped me a lot, and then I was able to get a job because I did create some pressure. So with knights, you can create a lot of pressure. I have nightmares of knight forks. Nightmares, good one. They
innovative one as well. Never heard that one before.
Knight forks are very annoying. So knight endgames definitely top of the list of most uncomfortable endgames. So that's why I would not want to trade into this. But if we can trade our knights, that would be great.
They do say, at least from a rule of thumb kind of perspective, though, it makes knight endgames are. You do often say that knight endgames are very like pawn endgames, from a calculation standpoint. But it's very difficult. Actually, I had in the city championship I played, the game that was going on next to me, it was deciding whether I would finish tied second or tied third. And one player was actually winning the whole time. I needed that player to win or draw. He was winning most of the game. Then he blundered and got a very difficult position where he had a knight against 3 pawns. He was able to win one, and then he had a knight against 2 pawns. And then eventually he actually resigned in time trouble. But it was a draw.
He resigned.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it was a 90 plus 0, or I guess 120 plus 0 at that point. But so he resigned in that position, but it was actually a draw. Very study-like. So I was just watching, and I was like, "Oh, please, you just need a draw," and then he lost from a completely winning position in this kind of night-end game. Very tough.
Also, Ireland won the rugby, for those curious. Thank you, Blunderbuss, for letting us know. We are definitely rugby fans here.
Oh, huge. Incredible. Incredibly. Totally.
Have you ever been to a rugby match?
No.
My dad took me to a few when I was younger, but I don't follow it so much. But I did. I think they're actually one of the most fun games. I haven't been to many except for football matches.
I would wish for them to wear some protection, please.
No, that's the fun of it.
No, that's the fun.
That is the fun of it.
Okay, Diana likes blood sports, confirmed.
We no, I do enjoy rugby matches.
Diana also goes to ice hockey games to watch them fight. That's how she operates.
I've been to one ice hockey match.
Me too, actually. But a civilized.
But that
German
was
one.
mine wasn't civilized. It was actually in America, and it was not civilized. And that was the fun of it.
Yeah.
They got into a fight, and it was actually really scary
Yeah.
because they just like smashed them off the paint.
It's always very gentlemanly of them to not use their sticks, you know? At some point I would imagine somebody snaps and uses the stick, but I don't know if it really happens that much. Anyway, I don't know. We have enough conflict in football matches. Actually, one time my teammate, well, one guy from the opposing team came into our changing room and was sort of looking for trouble a little bit, and then he threw a hairbrush at one of my teammates, and he got like, I don't know, a bleeding eye, and guy was charged with aggravated assault.
Oh,
very interesting.
Okay, so what is going on here with Mr. G's game with Gavin? Yeah, so we have another French. Surprise, surprise.
So Milner-Barry Gambit, very interesting opening. So you give up this pawn. Possible to take on c3 here, but very risky. Yeah, I mean, it is a thing you can do, but yeah. Anyway, even later, you can also, I mean, there's many ways to take this pawn. The idea is that this c3 pawn is actually, it's isolated, but it's actually very nice because it dominates the c6 knight. At the c6 knight really doesn't have many places to go. And then you get basically a nice system because black no longer has a c pawn, which means that your d3 bishop is sort of uncontested, and then you can play h4, h5. We're switching sides, I like it.
We're looking for black's perspective. Yeah,
so anyway, white can get a lot of pressure on the king side with this opening, because black does not have any way to get the a d3 bishop off of the diagonal. So it's going to be very difficult for black to castle.
Yeah. Looking a little bit scary. But in a lot of French variations, the king.
You don't play the French.
Same in Ross's game. Ross's game, the king was weak. Like in so many French positions, you get.
It's
you get an uncomfortable king.
What they sign up for. I don't know why they do it, but I guess some people just enjoy this sort of thing.
Okay, so here, I guess white should bring.
Then just h4, h5, h6 even, and then.
Yeah. This is white's idea. White ended up bringing their queen to h5.
Bit odd, because what's the queen doing there?
I guess they're trying to force them to take with the f pawn. So Gavin played knight to f8. He could have castled here, actually.
Yeah.
This was his chance, but then the queen just goes back. So this might have provoked castling.
But then you maybe have like f6 or f5.
But this is also very uncomfortable because after this looks like the knight is trapped.
Yeah, no, you have to prepare it. So
you need to
rook e8,
and maybe you don't really want to have to deal with this.
But here, actually, I'm not sure, because whose king is, if you play f5 next, or well, you can't now because your pawn is again unprotected. Well,
I think it is fine for black, but it's scary to deal with, especially with this bishop.
I guess the downside of this is now that the pawn's on h4, the queen can't go to h4 anymore. So you kind of want both. You want
h5?
The pawn. H5. Sorry.
Yeah, that's true. The queen can come in, but I guess
and
even
also
queen
after
to g4 is uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a bit hot. Getting hot.
If I wasn't a French player, I would be very worried about this. But as a French player, you probably have a lot of experience in something like this.
Yeah.
Maybe more experience without castling your king.
The thing is, like, often in these French positions, it always looks very scary, but then black is often fine. The computer often likes black.
Yeah.
In the French.
Yeah, which is very weird because with the King's Indian attack, I'm always convinced that it's much better for white.
Okay, I think that's a bit of a different kind, though. Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of a different kind of position.
I know, yeah, that's true. But I think just dealing with someone attacking your king is very hard to face, even if you can get out, because you have to, like we actually saw in Ross's game, he had an opportunity to. Like what he could have brought his knight back, but it's just not easy to find these moves.
It only takes one move. Although, also in Ross's game, we saw that White actually was completely crushing and messed up the attack and was losing before he was winning. So when you're attacking, you need to be precise. When you're defending, you need to be precise. But one allows for less accuracy. I mean, when you're attacking, there's not as much pressure on you. You can still come back from a sort of failed attack, whereas from a failed defense, it's hard to come back.
Exactly. Okay, so we're bringing all of our troops back into the defense, and G6 was played.
The classic Korchnoi Udovic, says Blunderbuss. That's apparently. Do
you know the game?
I don't know. No, I don't know the game. I'm not sure if this is like an opening variation name or if it was a game, or I'm not sure. But apparently something here has a name. Okay, so is this a current position? No.
Not yet. So Gavin played G6, attacking the
bishop's very short on screen.
But if this, then what would he take back? I guess now he gets his knight back in.
Yeah.
So that's the idea. Okay, queen trying to get the rook here, but now you can still get the knight back. This is Gavin is defending very nicely here. Okay, rook back. Maybe black is going to be the one to attack. No,
if you could take your king and put it on b8, let's say, then you'd be like, yes.
Whoa, yeah, that would be.
But as is, it's a bit adventurous.
Okay, so knight g6. This is
I mean, very.
Okay, so let's go back here a bit. Knight g6. Let's think. So the thing is here, what is white threatening?
I mean,
what is white threatening in this position?
Bit of a question if this is even a threat.
What?
I'll take on h7.
Well, it's protected. Oh, you mean with the bishop? Bishop takes. Okay, so let's say go for this.
It's first of all, it's black moves, right? So
rook
the first consideration would be, why can't we take the bishop? So that would be what we're worried about, right?
Oh yeah.
So the question is, I guess he has e6, yeah, and that would be deadly. Okay, so can't be doing that. So what? I guess h7 is not a threat.
Let's say g4. So, because if he doesn't have any threats, then we could play on the queen side. Because that is where our pieces are.
Yeah.
So if we play on the queen side, let's say we go here. Then, I don't know, like g4.
Psychologically difficult, I think.
Yeah, it is. But you don't also want to touch here because everything is protected.
It's true. And the queen is kind of trapped.
Let's say he goes back. I mean... Okay, so maybe white will bring their rook out to allow the rook to come in. It's not easy, but...
It's also not clear what you're doing on the queen side.
Well, you're putting pressure on c3. You move the knight, you can take the pawn. If there's no threats here, you want to play on the side that you are that you're playing on.
It's true. At the same time, well, yeah, I guess if you take over the queen side, it's also kind of white's king laterally has some troubles. Also, the playing hall, if we look at the cam,
is empty.
It's emptying rapidly.
Yeah.
So we're getting maybe close to a resolution. Also, a bunch of games ended. Maybe we can look at some of those. Let's look at the current position here for a second. Hold on.
Oh, there was an exchange. Okay, wait. Let's just.
I mean, I guess that
here.
There wasn't
there's no. Yeah, so this is the problem with. But you do okay. Yeah. I mean, this bishop. I
like this for.
Okay, this might be fine because if this bishop can come alive, c3 is weak. Bishop pair. If we can get this bishop pair alive.
If our light square bishop can ever do anything, we're in really good shape. Imagine our bishop gets like to, I don't know, e4.
Yeah. I mean, it's not impossible.
Oh, yeah.
It's not impossible if this bishop can also get active. Also, yeah.
Bishop I already like now, but yeah.
This is beautiful. And actually, you're not down in material because you have a bishop and two pawns.
No, I like the pawns better at the moment. And the question is if white can engineer anything like on f7 or somewhere along those lines. But it's definitely not easy at all. And also, time-wise, okay, Gavin has more time. Jonathan has 1 minute. Gavin has 4.
Oh,
5.
yes, we are down to the time scramble. Here it is.
So this is going to be an exciting phase. Also, no extra time. So
yeah.
Also, it wouldn't matter here anyway because they're only on move 27.
Yeah, just extra. And there's only 2 games left in the Masters. There's only two games left in the Masters. How many games are left in the
And Gavin, of course, is a good blitz
majors? Player. Okay, a few left in the majors. Okay.
If Gavin wins this blitz off here, then we're gonna take credit for making him play Liga.
Yeah, he played Liga yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, yesterday we promoted with the Darlings, and he said that if his prep doesn't, he thought that this would be good practice for Sligo.
Yeah.
So, well, Gavin is also very good.
He just hopped on a train right after school or something.
A very good blitz player.
Well. Very dedicated. Or I don't know, is he from Dublin or?
Yeah, he is from Dublin. They probably traveled down this morning.
It's a school day though, isn't it?
Yeah, but you can miss a few days. Maybe he could go after school. Probably. Also, a lot of school. I'm not sure if he has a half day. My school had a half day on Fridays.
Okay, that's nice. It's very merciful of them.
Yeah, every Friday was beautiful. Every single Friday.
I thought you loved school though.
I did, but I also liked having the long weekend. And my brother had half day every Wednesday.
Oh.
Which might also be very nice because midweek.
Well, no day on Wednesday would be very nice, but half day, I don't know. Speaking of half days, in Germany they're trialing 4-day work weeks now. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, also in Finland.
Yeah, that's been going on for a while. I mean, definitely in loads of places they tried it, but.
Maybe we should have actually put majors as one of the options.
Yeah.
Not championship because.
Well, if we don't have the data, yeah.
Let's see the. Wait, where is the championship? Wait, did we put majors? What was the?
We put championship and.
But we can't see the championship game.
Yeah, but we thought we could.
Oh.
We
Are you sure about that? Wait, let me just double check.
So.
Let me double check the prediction. No, we did. Oh yeah, we did put you. Okay.
Well, anyway, nobody voted for that anyway. Nobody votes for one.
I think only one person voted, and we know who that is because of the number of the vote.
Yeah, TJ holding out, holding up the flag. Okay. Well, anyway, maybe we could stick with Gavin, to be honest, just because they're in so much time trouble. I mean, all of the games are going to be in time trouble now. But they have.
Oshin is also playing. Okay, Oshin here.
Okay,
wait.
I mean, like it's just.
Wait a second.
Oh no! Wait. What?
Wait a second. What happened? Oh, a rook endgame. Oshin was a pawn up earlier in the game. Wait.
But we were saying this is a difficult position to break through, and maybe he tried a bit hard.
Oh, what? Yeah, because you liked the knight.
Is a beautiful knight.
What happened?
It can't ever be challenged. Except by the other knight, and then you don't have anything because then f5 is coming.
Sugar. Okay, let's see. Rook here, knight goes back.
Okay.
He decided to trade.
That's actually an interesting decision.
To trade pawns. Oh, black didn't take the H pawn. Interesting.
Okay, but I didn't really go back for a second. I didn't really understand this. Why do we go knight takes e4? Is that necessary? Go back one more. Okay, maybe.
Well, if he plays b5, then c is.
No, I was gonna go back to c4, but.
Oh right.
Because we had already tried to break through that way.
But then the king can come in, maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you have to play this. And then maybe we have this.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Right, that's true. Eventually.
But we got into a rook endgame, and it got very here.
It's an odd
Oh, rook f4. Where should the king move? We have two options.
I guess he was afraid of rook g4.
Yeah, we have two options. If
e3.
king g3,
but actually that's
rook g4.
But then you go back to f3 probably, and then your king's in a better position.
But then
much better position.
And now we have 3 versus 3, but we also have the g2 pawn helping us.
And mainly, I mean, also the f pawn's hanging and the g pawn would be hanging. So, yeah.
How much time? He has 45 minutes to choose, and he spent less than a minute.
Well, he probably thought it didn't make a difference. I guess he missed that he could go back to f3, and that would be a much better version. Because if he didn't want to go, I guess he was thinking, here, and if he goes here, then you have rook g4, and if you try to go here,
rook e3.
Then you're just. I think you can play that at any time as well. So yeah, you can do this, and now you're not gonna. I mean, this is just immediately nothing, right? I guess you can play king h2, but then you're losing this one.
Or even h4 check first, and then.
Okay, that as well. But both. I mean, probably both is fine. It's fine because you're not gonna defend it anyway. Doesn't matter which one you take first, I think. But yeah.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, this is. I mean, you still do need to consider, because if you go back to g1,
I think it was just a miss that you could go back to f3.
Yeah. Yeah, but okay, you didn't spend enough time on it.
It's true.
So it's a miss, but not really a miss, because you didn't allow yourself to miss it. Like, you didn't think enough.
Okay, I mean, I guess it's a miss in the sense that I think he thought he couldn't go because he couldn't play king h3.
But I think it's important in general. You don't want to allow your king to be stuck there.
No, for sure.
Because then your rooks are going to come in.
He might have just thought that this is winning anyway.
Sugar. Yeah. King here. But the thing is that now you can't take there anymore because they take with check. And then you still have rook g4.
Yeah.
So that's the main problem, is that you take with check, and this doesn't allow for. Oh right.
Well, it does.
No, but it doesn't allow for taking with check.
Yeah, but only if you find king of 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you still could go here.
No, but that's only because you can repeat.
What do you mean?
Well, now you go rook f4.
Oh right. Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess the main thing is that you don't want to allow rook takes h4. But okay, I guess it's not natural to go to f3.
I mean, it is, if you think about it. Okay, this is my.
Oh, that's so tough.
Active point. Okay, anyway,
because now it's just equal, but
I mean,
it's tough.
Equal is a hard word to use here. I mean,
but you still win.
It's complicated.
You still win the pawn back. Yeah.
It's complicated.
You still won the pawn back.
So actually, the king is sort of running around the rosy a couple of times.
Yeah. So actually, white is still a pawn up. So never mind.
I mean, if you think about it, this is definitely a position that looks like it might be good if you judge it from far away.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is actually a very similar position to what I had. Like I sacked in the game where I missed the main two, where I like sacked a pawn for rook activity, and then I missed my actually one idea with this kind of rook doubling on the back rank.
Okay, this is very scary for white.
Yeah, you're very much in danger of getting into mostly perpetual, but if you really mess up, you could get mated.
Okay, so let's see. So rook here. Okay, so let's check. So if you go here, then there's going to be mate.
Is it?
Isn't there?
No,
no, there's not. Yeah. So maybe you win the pawn.
Yeah, it's not good. Probably. But does it win the pawn? Rook g2. Maybe you have... no, you don't. Hold on.
This is difficult. Maybe you can just go check.
No, I don't think. I think this should be good for right now. Now your king's safe.
Yeah.
And the rook is stuck on it.
Do you trade? Yeah, maybe you can trade and go here. But then this.
This no. Well.
And then you take this one.
Yeah, this is probably a draw. This is yeah. I mean, I would think this is a draw. Because now, yeah, no, this is definitely a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely a draw.
Okay, so what happened in the game? So in the game, rook here, king moves. Oh, sorry, no, this is not what happened. So he moved king f3. Okay. And after check, the king is going back. So white is still a pawn up. I guess not anymore, but he didn't really.
A hard position play.
Okay, so what
the black pawns are actually kind of quicker now because it's hard to push the white pawns.
Here?
Probably like g5.
Okay, I guess you can just go here.
Or maybe you can even. I mean, what if you give a check? I mean, it's not mate, but close.
Hello, Perpetual.
Great announcement there.
Good evening.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, well, let's look how it developed.
But yeah, this went down.
Yeah, now, as I said, like, black's pawns are kind of quicker.
Oh my goodness, I mean this...
Because the king is in position, whereas black's king is...
white's king is very nice technique from black.
Very typical motif, yeah.
That's very nice. Rook here.
Yeah, and now, I mean, the pawns don't promote, is the problem. The pawns, like this, they take too long, and they need the king. So you need like a million moves to promote those pawns. But white's pawns don't promote.
This is so tough.
And now you just lost, because whoever queens first generally gets to mate. Yeah, you just have a million checks.
Oh my goodness, what? So where did it go wrong?
Now it's almost impossible to mess it up.
Wait, here he had a chance. If he plays b6. Here he has
the thing is now here, if you play this way, I guess white also gets a mating net eventually. So
he played this pawn instead.
Yeah, well now that just allows.
Oh no! And he had plenty of time. No.
That's really
bad. No. Oh no!
It's also it's a one-move blunder. Like it's like a very simple tactic as well.
No.
This is
He's
also
gonna be very upset over that.
Very much the checked captures and threats.
Oh no! No!
This is a smash the table kind of
and
yell kind of.
That is so frustrating.
And okay, but this is still not easy.
Yeah,
so
if you push.
The problem is you would really.
No, but here you're actually just trying to push b7, and you can just leave it there, can't you?
Well, I mean, the question remains.
What is the threat of b6? Sorry. No, you're threatening what? Rook c7? Is it?
Well, okay, let's do this. And then the problem is, if you do play this now,
maybe you can.
This is not going to work because you're always going to have too much distraction. So.
Okay, so let's see. So. You can't play g4 because you stopped the rook going back to g4 and checking, so you can't play g4.
Well,
I guess the thing is you can't play anything because rook g4, rook h4 is the only idea that black has. Otherwise, black can't move the rook or can't move the pawn.
Okay, but it's even there. I wouldn't say it's so easy because let's say here, and if you do play d4, I mean, the idea is to try to move these pawns. And
but now you can play d5 because that's the problem.
Sure. Yeah.
And now you don't have that tactic.
Yeah.
So that's the idea.
Problem. I guess there's not that much of a problem. I guess there's now really no particular move because the king is actually in a brilliant position here. Because it does defend this, and the rook can't swing over. And now these pawns promote, and this pawn doesn't promote.
You take black here, but black is losing here. What would you do with black?
Okay, so I mean, you gotta place. Well,
yeah, then d6. Yeah. Okay, d6. Black is losing.
Yeah.
Because white is promoting 2 pawns, and now you just push d7.
Yeah, I mean, if you do this, you're probably... Are you still winning?
Yeah, you are. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think you are.
Well, the problem is now...
But why can't I just push it?
Well, if I go here, here, and I was thinking...
I guess I can move my king up.
Yeah, because now the rook is no longer attacking the c pawn. Yeah, okay. Well, that was a complete throw. What we call this in the business.
One move.
A very hasty, very simple.
That is so tough. No. Okay, and we've seen a lot of one move blunder. Okay, let's see. This is the last game of the Masters.
Oh wow.
Oh, what is going on here? Let's have a look.
So he's very happy.
So, shit.
Okay.
What happened? Okay, so
Sugar, I mean.
Sugar, yeah. Wait a second.
Okay, let's see. Definitely a bit of a ridiculous position.
Check.
Okay, knight h6, very nice. Now the queen is sort of caged, can't really get out too easily. We'll have to go to h8 before it can get out. And okay, very interesting. Also, maybe g4, g5 is an idea, but it's risky. Also, you have now e5 ideas, e5 check, which would win. So let's see how the game continued. They both, by the way, very low on time.
Yeah.
Almost playing on increment. So how did it turn out? So played rook to e1, stopping this, or at least preventing it from being too good. Now queen h8, trying to extricate the queen. Rook comes in, activates, very nice. And now, I mean, black's last piece that isn't playing perfectly is the bishop, but actually you do have this a lot of the time. Not now, because after this you can just, your pawn's going to be hanging and you're going to get mated, but eventually, this hits with some force. Wow. Okay.
Knight f5.
Hanging all sorts of ways, so
if the pawn takes, what happens?
Okay, so if the pawn takes... Oh, yeah,
the rook is hanging, yeah.
Okay, never mind. It's just a discovered attack then. And your queen is also attacked. So what you're going to do... Gavin with not much time at all, e5. Okay, makes sense. Now the knight's pinned. And this one is not attacked sufficiently. It is, but if you trade, your knight's going to be hanging in the end and you're going to be losing because you're going to be down a piece. Okay, so rook takes because he has to, because otherwise... okay, this is actually very tough. Very unlucky, I think, for white that this didn't work, because it's really hanging by a thread. Everything just barely works out for black, that nothing is falling. And then rook to e8 check. What in the world?
Oh my goodness, if
because
bishop
the bishop
takes...
can't take, now the knight's no longer pinned. So
yeah. Oh my goodness!
The rook is also
hanging. This is... yeah.
So he takes, and now... Okay, knight's still pinned, rook is hanging though. But this hangs with check. And you're going to be down... Well, I guess you just sacrificed the rook as well. So you're down a full rook. Now you're going to pick a rook back up, but you're going to lose a piece. You're going to be down a piece. Right? Yeah, knight takes... yeah, even better probably. I would have thought that maybe bishop,
oh my goodness!
Bishop takes and knight g4 was interesting, but both are probably very good. Now this keeps the discovered check threat, which is of course very hard to deal with when your opponent has like 40 seconds. And black is just up material now. And now, okay, you still can't
but there's still some threats.
Because you're going to get checkmated. You're going to have to play king d8. He does, of course. King moves because he has to. Okay, mess of the game. d4, nice. This knight is really not very good at all.
Oh my goodness, these bishops are so strong.
Yeah, this is coming, okay.
Oh!
Okay, well. Queen e5.
Very nice.
Starting to come in here. Whew, what a spicy little game.
Tough game.
Okay, now the rook is back, and now this is clearly winning because now white doesn't really have anything to do anymore. All of black's pieces are perfect. Like literally, I think all on their best squares.
Yeah.
This pawn is good. This rook is terrible. This knight isn't super good. Knight comes in, making more threats, threatening to trade queens as well. That would just be an easy win at this point. Knight g4, and now king can't go back. Actually, oh well, okay. This is just over, right? Because yeah, here and here, and then that's just. So Gavin won. All right.
Oh my! That was the last game of the Masters.
Yeah, so
well done. He beat the reigning champion.
Maybe,
Excellent game, Gavin.
This is the kind of thing in the first round that can knock
First
you out of
round.
contention very easily.
Oh,
So super happy for Gavin.
brilliant win by Gavin.
Yeah.
Well done.
Super well done.
Let's go, Mr. G, a darling. So it was actually great that he played. He won with the darlings. He won here. So I'm going to take the credit for that, Gavin.
Splits,
I am
exactly.
taking the credit. So wait,
Watching
Masters are
Diana
finished.
to learn what not to do.
Are there any other games? So there actually are still games in play. So Masters wasn't the last.
Basically,
The last one. So this game is still. Wait, is there any games left in? Okay, so this is all the games are finished from here. These we couldn't see. Okay, so this is the majors. There are a few games left. Okay, I think this just stopped.
This is not actually left.
Broadcasting. Okay, I think Black lost time, maybe. So maybe this is the last game. I think this is the last game. Okay, still one game to go.
Alright, wow. Definitely. Okay.
So how this has been going for almost 4 hours.
Let's think about this one. I mean,
another rook endgame.
Well, it's definitely a consideration if you can play c6 here.
Here we can see them over there in the middle.
You definitely want to calculate. Well, you want to calculate c6 here, but I'm thinking white should probably be winning here.
You're Davis from Quirk.
I can't imagine black. Yeah, black doesn't really have anything.
We'll be seeing you over the weekend.
But yeah, this is not a thing. Black should be losing. Unless actually, okay, hold on. So a5, h5, king e5, h4, king f5, h3. Okay, so hold on. Maybe this works for black. I mean, if that works, then that might be good. Like winning good.
So what are you talking about? You can put it on the board.
Hold on for a second. Let's go back for a second here. I was thinking, let's say before this move here, I was thinking maybe we need to play rook g1 because we allow a5, a4, a3. Because this is going to be a pin, and if we allow this, then black's going to win. So actually, now that we played rook c2, I'm predicting a black win. I thought this was a clear win for white if we played this. He didn't play that, he played instantly. This is another case of, this looks active, but actually it's not, because your active piece here is the king, not the rook. And it doesn't, like this pawn is just a decoy. You just want to pick up all these pawns and you're going to be winning.
That's nice.
And this one is actually like, it doesn't really matter if your rook's passive because this rook's equally passive. And then you're just going to pick up the pawns.
But with rook c2, now your rook is pinned. So
exactly.
Yeah.
That's why h5, h6, h4. And I'm predicting a black win here, to be honest.
Oh my goodness. Very nice. He found it. h5. Excellent
So
move.
h5.
What? c6. c6 just goes down. c6.
Okay. I mean, I'm not necessarily doubting that it's possible. We have this. Okay.
Or on the other side, rook e2 as well.
Yeah.
They're both good. Maybe even rook e2 is better because you can go to the others. If you can go to h7.
Yeah.
Or.
Okay. Well, is he gonna? Maybe it's just you can just not escape.
Yeah, but maybe White will try to win this.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what is
yeah,
that? Chat. Wait. We have to ask them here.
No, but that's a silly move, of course.
So, king to c8. What is the winning move? There's a winning move here for White.
Yeah.
What is the winning move?
That was, of course you can't go to that square.
Come on. What is the winning move? There's one winning move. Who is still alive in the chat? Hard one. Is it?
Well, there's really only one.
I don't think it's that easy. King d6, well done! King d6, what are we threatening? Checkmate!
Yeah.
And king b8, and we can actually just promote, because king here, there's still check, and then we promote.
Okay, so actually...
Wow!
Kind of missed.
So, rook e7, he has to play king b8. Oh, this is actually what's being played!
Yeah, it's actually
well done, rook e7.
Missed that. Was barely in time.
No one's alive. Senti. It's earlier for you, Senti. It's almost midnight here.
Okay, well, I guess then in that case, White's
so
gonna make a
let's
draw.
see. He has an option here. King d8 or king c8. What will he play?
You can't play king c8. That's very obviously losing.
Well, he's down. I mean, when you've played a long game, 4 hours.
No, but...
Maybe you don't want to be taken with the c7 check.
Yeah.
Sometimes king moves are not easy to see.
Actually, here you can go here.
It's only 6 p.m. Yeah,
and
that's quite early.
Then you're actually gonna win, because now White's too slow, and you're gonna take here, and then you're gonna.
I've mismade a 2 over the board, so.
Me too, recently.
Yeah, we both have missed. So I don't know. The thing is, king d6. Oh my goodness, what was king c8 was played? King c8 was played. No, was it? No, it wasn't. Wait, was it? King c8 was played. I'm telling you. What did I just predict? I am telling you. What did I just predict? What did I just tell you? I told you, it's not impossible. It's so hard.
It's apparently possible.
When you have played 4 hours, it's so hard because you don't want to deal with c7 and you can't calculate.
But
and
c7
king moves.
Win.
But you can't calculate. Also, remember, this is not the master section. Look what just happened. King d6 was played. King d6 on the board. Last game. 4 hours. Oh no!
Tough one.
Poor White.
You don't want to start your tournament off like
this is heartbreaking. I mean, there's missing mate in 2 and there's falling for mate in 2.
I'm also again saying, like, if you play this, it's not out of the question at all that White plays this, right? And then you're just winning. Yeah,
then you're thinking king d6. So no. But look, this is what I will calculate. Like, no, c7. I would calculate c7, king b7, and then I would say, okay, king d6, and what can you do? Because rook takes g2. I think it's but it's still like a few moves. You don't have that much time,
I understand.
And it's a few moves, and then you're thinking king d7, and check comes with. c8 comes with check, so probably you're thinking about this move first, and then you're like, oh, I can't let that, and then you play king c8. So it's not that you don't have enough time.
Well, you do have 5 minutes, or like 4 minutes here.
But I had 5 minutes too, and I missed mate in 2.
Yeah. But I guess the problem was there.
Oh my goodness!
There wasn't any time.
Oh my goodness! This is crazy! Crazy game! Oh! Well, it's still going. Let's see. Anything can happen. Oh!
But now you're just promoting. There's nothing you can do.
No! Poor John. I'm sorry about this,
At this point,
John.
you can even give up your rook if you want. Yeah.
Oh, that is so tough.
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. You could still... Oops.
What?
Move to the wrong. Actually, hold on. Okay, let's just think about this for a second. Let's say you make a queen. You give a check.
You still have your pawn, so you can't even go for stalemating tricks.
No, but let's. I mean,
Yeah, go for it. I mean, you can even take on f5.
The problem is you're gonna get checked and lose.
Yeah, you can even take on f5 and.
If they were here,
put a queen behind one of them, and you can't push
here already. It would still be winning, even if they were on the 7th rank.
I mean, this is what makes the commentating exciting, but it breaks my heart for them because that is so tough. That is so. Black is just no, sorry, white is having the time of his life here.
Listen, I was, as I said, I was like, okay, maybe
that is crazy.
Maybe after rook c2, white loses this, because I mean, you know, it's easy to try to go for this and then miss it. And I think I'm still thinking that it's kind of likely that after this, there's a good chance that white plays this and black wins.
Oh, I can't believe it! I actually can't. Well, I can't believe it because I thought that this was going to happen. But this is. I feel so bad for black.
Yeah, that's awful.
Oh no, that is not a nice way to start. But okay, it is the first round. Get it out of the way, and then just you still have the rest of the tournament to go. So 4 rounds to go. It's a 5-round tournament.
It's very demotivating.
Is it? Yeah, it's 5
I think
rounds.
If it's a 9-round tournament, losing in round 1 is not the biggest deal.
Yeah,
but in a 5-rounder,
you lose your chances. That is not, especially in the Masters.
It must feel bad to lose in the first round. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, losing in the last round is probably worse. I mean, if you lose in the last round, in the first round, at least your hopes are done from the beginning. But if you're fighting the whole time and then this happens in the last round, that's
but then you have to play 4 more games of chess. In the last round, you're done. You can relax.
No, but after
lick your wounds.
you're. Yeah, but then there's nothing to fight for. But now you still have 4 more rounds to fight for. If you can get 4.
Yeah.
And also, in the first round, then you're going to be pared down, and then you can still have, you actually have easier games.
That's true.
So actually, sometimes it's best to draw in the first round, get a weaker
Swiss
opponent.
gambit, yeah.
Yeah.
But in a 5-round, that's a risky gambit to make.
It is. But I mean, this was board 10. So what were their ratings here? Let me just check that. So
in the meantime,
Jarek,
maybe we can look at. I don't have it open anymore.
Jarek. Okay, so Jarek is 1470 and John is 1272. So 1272 is the one who played king to c8. So I think that's it. I think this is all of the games.
Yeah, maybe I was just thinking maybe we could look at the results of the Masters just quickly, rounding off. Okay, so here, our little prodigy, it's a bit demeaning, okay. Our prodigy, young prodigy, won with white. We saw this Catalan kind of position, and this is one of the lines where you it's an interesting line, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You get a lot of pressure on the queen side as black, whereas white gets a nice center. I don't know. I mean, very interesting. I mean, white's really going for it here. I kind of like black's position here, I'm not gonna lie. I think this is quite. I would take black if I had to choose, I think. It feels like the pawns are relatively under control. But maybe that wasn't true.
Nice from white, opening up the king when the king has not castled yet. Ooh!
Wow. Okay,
a rook sacrifice! If the queen takes,
what a combination
take on
as
e5,
well.
and then you have rook f1. If the king goes back to f8. And if you block, what?
That's incredible.
If you block, and Kushal is only 8 years old. 8! Excellent! See, these kids just see the tactics.
Yeah, now you have
Bishop comes in so beautiful.
Wow.
If the rook blocks, now you can go queen here. But you still need to be accurate. So what?
That's an incredible combination. Let's just go back to the start of it, where basically, I mean, I wonder how much time you took here.
Such nice play.
So here, if you didn't even, you had 16 minutes.
6 minutes.
6 minutes for this move. And apparently it's like one of the only good moves here. The computer says rook takes f7 is the only other move, which is, I guess, the same kind of idea, just a different move order. So this is kind of incredible. That's very, very beautiful.
Wow! And he actually didn't spend that much time on this.
Yeah, and then the game just ended here. Wow.
Oh my goodness! Beautiful game!
This is
the king can't do anything! Oh my goodness, here?
An early contender for game of the tournament.
Yeah, this definitely deserves a prize.
Wow.
But wait a second, so...
That was unreal.
I mean, he could still play on a little bit. You need to find knight c5. If you don't find knight c5...
But doesn't that just win the piece?
What?
Like, doesn't it... I mean...
So knight c5, yeah, you're threatening... I mean, yeah, I guess you could attack the queen.
Yeah, you're getting mages here, probably.
The queen...
H3
Yeah, but if the queen moves... It's better for... I mean, you can still play a little bit.
Okay, I mean, sure.
A little bit. You have to prove yourself.
If your opponent finds that combination, then he's really going to find this.
Well, we've seen someone missing some things here, so... Still have to prove yourself a little bit.
Yeah, but that's
wow.
Wow,
that is already wow. Okay, well, that is a nice game to finish off the commentary with.
Yeah.
That was.
Do you want to look at some of the other games or no?
Yeah, sure. We can look at some of the games.
Okay, well, let's look at one more. Maybe just some female representation.
Yeah.
I haven't had much of that.
Irina won.
Yeah. So that's good.
Yeah, bishop h3 is not cut, but still have to look for it.
Oh, this was the AQP game that we looked at, where we liked white's chances, justifiably apparently. Okay. And yeah, also very, very clean game. Very nice one as well. Okay.
So Irina, let's just see her rating. So Irina is 2140 WIM.
Let's just also say
1870.
Yeah, let's just also say that the young kid, he was playing someone rated 2163, so just made short work of the guy. 25 move win. Little miniature.
That's incredible
for a miniature chess player.
Well done. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. That is so beautiful. We have a lot of 8-year-old champions coming in playing in Ireland.
Yeah,
we have the prodigy little girl playing in Gonzaga, and now we have.
Is he from England as well?
I think he is from the UK.
All the English.
Oh wow! What a game! Well done. Okay, so everyone watching, we will be back tomorrow. I think the first round is at 10 a.m. So we will be back at 10 Irish time, 11 CET, European time.
Exclamation mark schedule, I think, in the chat if you want to see it, or it's also on Chess Results, which is exclam results, or on exclam tournament or exclam Sligo.
Or you can join Discord and you will get a notification when we are live.
That was
so yeah. So thank you for joining us for the first round. That was exciting chess. Now the standard has been set. We have seen missing maiden 2. We have seen like one move blunders in rook endgames.
Yeah.
We have seen your king not castling and then coming back to win after your king is being attacked for so long, defending, and then going in to killing your opponent after being an exchange down. We have seen some questionable draws and overall like exciting games, and poor Ross.
Also, no draw in the master section.
No draw. Yeah, starting with I think there was one draw, wasn't there?
Classical chess is not dead.
Oh, I thought there was one. Brendan Williams was
Yeah, that was an incredible round. Well done by everyone.
yeah. So we put entre acum și pune pe starting stream. Starting soon, ca să-ți dau raid. Emma wants us to raid her, and she needs to start her stream. So just put it on starting soon so that we can raid you. But we will be
hang out.
We will be here tomorrow at 10 a.m. Irish time, 11 CET. So early start, and we have 2 rounds. We have 2 rounds, one at 11 and one at 4.
And we expect all of you to be here supporting our marathon effort. Diana is prepping herself for her 24-hour stream, getting the stamina that's required. Me as well, I suppose. So, yeah. So yeah, if there's anything more, if anybody's got any questions, we're going to be here just for a second while we're waiting for our raid target to present itself.
Emma's taking her time. Okay, so okay, so Emma's going to start. But yes, we'll be here tomorrow. Emma, has she started her stream? Okay, I think she has started. Okay, so let me just put in the raid. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we will see you here tomorrow, 10 a.m. sharp if you're in the UK or Ireland, 11, not so sharp. Well, I guess it's still sharp, but it's not so early. Not so sharp. Not so early. Blunt. 11 a.m. blunt. I guess it's pretty early for me too, but we still have an hour lie-in, and if you're in America, best of luck to you. I will see you guys tomorrow. 2 rounds.
Be dedicated.
And then 2 rounds on Sunday. But it won't go on as late as today. So today's round did start late. Tomorrow we're starting at 4 CET3.
All of our Australian viewers will be happy.
Yeah. Good night, Senti. So I'll be a bit late. Senti, that's no problem.
That is a problem.
We don't mind if you're not here on time, but we do like having the chat active. So if you do get a chance, please come in and say hi. Chat to us.
Lots to learn in this tournament.
Yeah, we have
some amazing.
I know I have learned.
It's incredible.
And also make sure you engage and ask some questions, because we are definitely not experts and we enjoy messing up. So I'll see you guys later. Let's go over to Emma. Make sure you follow her, and thank you so much for being here and watching our stream. So see you guys later.
Bye bye. Gang gang.